Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a good day as always. Today, I want to talk about something that I think doesn't get enough attention when it comes to good financial practices for those who are young adults and haven't left the home, and that is deciding when you should leave and get your own place. Now, I realize a lot of you guys watching this are probably past this point in your life, but this really is a big financial decision for a lot of young adults. And so I would appreciate if you guys joined in the conversation, shared your experiences, your advice, because the more we share with everyone, the more everyone benefits. And so that's what I'll be doing today. But let's just jump into this conversation. Now, again, this is one of the biggest financial decisions most any person makes when they're young. Right? Obviously there's going to be things like college that you're deciding, and that's got its own financial implications, but everyone at some point is probably going to decide to leave home and get their own place. And outside of a mortgage, your rent is probably your number one expense on a monthly basis. So this is a decision that really shouldn't be taken lightly, and there's absolutely ways of going about it to where you can leave home at a younger age and be totally financially okay. There's also ways where you can do this to where it's really not a good financial decision. So my experience was this. I left home when I was just before 19 years old. So I left pretty early. I was working. I did not go to college, so that kind of entered into the equation there. But I think that was around 2007 when that happened. And I moved out and I got an apartment with two of my buddies. So it was three of us in a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment complex. And back in 2007, rent, I'm pretty sure it was like $930. So between the three of us, that's $310 per person. And then once you throw in utilities and all that other fun stuff, I was spending about $400 a month in rent. Now, compared to today's prices, that is just dirt cheap. That is no problem whatsoever. But back then, considering I just got my first job and I was working at a grocery store, $400, while it was totally doable, it's still $400 a month. Now, what would have happened if I had said, you know what, maybe I should actually stay at home a little bit longer, really set myself up financially. That way, maybe I'm buying a house next, or if I'm buying a car, I can really put a big down payment on there. Whatever it is that I would have used that money for, the whole point is putting myself in a better position financially. So, what if I would have stayed until I was 22? Right? I didn't go to college, but let's just say that I would have stayed in there like a lot of college students do when they live at home until 22, right? $400 per month for the next 4 years would have saved me at least $19,000. Okay? That would be a huge amount of money for anyone who is 22 years old. And I'm not saying that it would have been worthwhile or that I regret not leaving when I did, but you really do have to think about this. If you're not in a position where you're really, really comfortable financially, is it worth leaving home and getting your own place at such a young age when you can be saving so much money? Now, again, I did not go that route, but I want to talk about this because, when I get emails about those who are struggling with car loans or student loans or credit card debt, when I talk to them and they tell me, this costs this much and that costs that much, when it comes to rent, if I see that they're paying $800 or more by themselves in rent, that's a huge financial burden for them to take on. And how much easier would all this other stuff be if they didn't have to face that financial payment every single month? And earlier when I was talking about my experience of moving out, I was using prices for 2007. That's what rent was. I went back and looked at a very similar apartment complex today and what they charge, and their 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom is $977, and their 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, which is what we used, is $1,517, right? So that's $600 more per month, or let's say $200 per person more expensive than what I was paying back in 2007. So when I said, I could save, $19,000 over the course of 4 years, it would be even more money today. So that's why I think this is something that is insanely important to discuss and really, really plan out rather than just kind of assuming that you should do it because you are younger. right? I have a good friend who I actually recently just helped them buy their home, but I believe she stayed at home until she was 26 years old. She worked with me at the credit union, and so, I know she had a good job, she was making good money, and she was just shoveling money into her savings account, and that's why she's able to buy a house with 20% down in the neighborhood that they want, before she's 30 years old. Now, I don't want to make this video with any sort of bias one way or the other, because I think it can work out both ways, right? If you are going to stay at home and work a job and save money, well, then the main thing that you need to focus on is actually saving that money to where whenever you do leave the house, that you're in a very, very good position financially, right? The worst is to stay at home, but also use those savings to blow it on other not as important things, right? That would not be a good position. Likewise, you don't want to go out on your own for the very first time, maybe not have any roommates, face this really, really big expense, and then, have an emergency come up and really put you in an awkward position financially, right? So there's good ways about doing both scenarios, and there's bad ways of doing both scenarios. One thing that I would say to anyone who really is getting ready to move out is very, very much consider having roommates. A lot of people say it ends friendships, and that has definitely not been my experience. But from a financial standpoint, it is really, really, really something that will lighten the load for someone who's just moving out for the first time. It cuts expenses tremendously. So if you do have roommates, please consider that, because that is a huge, huge help. But overall, what do you think? If this is something that you're about to go through yourself, would it be worthwhile for you to stay at home just a few more years to put yourself in a better position financially? Or, if this is something that you've done many years back, but looking back, you've got different opinions, or you've got some advice that you would want others to know, definitely comment down below. But as always, thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share. You guys know what to do. But thanks for watching. Make smart financial decisions, and I'll see you guys next time. Hey guys, I know I just said this stuff, but let me say it again. Thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate all the support that you guys give me. And to support you, here's 2 more videos that I've made in the past in case you haven't seen them. Don't forget to share these with your friends and family so we can help all the people achieve their financial goals. Likewise, if there's anything that you would want to see made that you haven't seen thus far, definitely don't hesitate to let me know. But thanks again, take care, and have a good day.